Hello everyone. Yeah, managed to shake the cold. So I've been feeling good for the past like 2 days now. Um, but I feel like 95%, close to 100 now. So all good there. Writing wise, I managed to get a bunch done. I think I'm on 208 pages now. So yeah, I managed to do quite a few writing sessions towards the end of the week. So I think last week wasn't a total loss really. Um, yeah, so it wasn't like majorly impacted at all. So I'm quite happy with how it all turned out. Um, this week, yeah, hoping to maintain the consistency. Writing today, um, maybe not tomorrow. Um, Thursday definitely. Wednesday and maybe. Um, and then here and there on the weekend. So definitely Monday and Thursday. Well, I'll lock in, and then I'll definitely be able to find the third day somewhere through the week. Hopefully you can get done Wednesday, so I'm not like rushing to do the third week at the weekend. Yeah, so that's my plan for this week basically. I think minimum I need to be doing a page a day. Um, yeah, that's like each writing session commit to a page. I think I need to up it a bit in terms of like, because it used to be like, oh, at least I'm doing 10 minutes here and there. Um, and yeah, not so much focus on the word count, but the pages I think are important, more important than the word count. Um, yeah, I think that's the way I need to look at it going forward. Because word counts don't mean anything. Basically, you say it to like someone and you go, "How much have you wrote?" And you've went 70,000 words, and they're like, "Well, what's that in pages?" Do you know what I mean? No one, people who aren't a writer or who write like books, novels, whatever, they can't quantify the word counts. Like it doesn't mean anything to them. And I think you need to think about that as a reader. I think you need, in terms of like when you're writing, your progress and all that, you need to think of it as a reader. Um, is what I've just kind of like developed, I think, the past couple of weeks. So yeah, that's going to be kind of like me outlook when I start to write. Um, in terms of where I'm at with the story, yeah, I'm just at that scene where like kind of the final act is being discussed. I don't expect the second part of the book to be anywhere near as long as the first part. First part was like 180 pages, something like that. So I think it'll be getting. I was saying 250 and stuff, but the more I think about it, I think that changes on it with each writing session. I think I could get it closer to 300 now, because previously I wasn't thinking about how much the dialogue boosts the pages. Basically, I was only looking at it as the word count, which I think is like why it changes everything. Um, and so I think now that I'm really like letting the dialogue flow and letting the characters talk, you know, um, I think I can really like expand the book. And I've been reading a few self-published books by like friends and stuff, and that's what that like a lot. I'm always quite concerned that I'm like boring people when I'm writing and I'm describing the scenes and how people feel, and I've noticed like people really like. Um, I know this might sound mad, but like explain things in terms of like what someone's feeling. I'll be honest, when I'm reading it, I'm kind of a bit like, it's hard to kind of like visualize what they're saying, which I'm very conscious when I'm right. When I write, so they'll be describing like how someone's feeling, like deal, pain that they're feeling, or they're at, like, it's mainly fantasy and reading, so they're having this like moments where they're like, the powers awakening inside of them, for example, and how they describe that. It's all very like what's the word? Ethereal, and it's hard to kind of visualize, because it's all like, the power opened up inside them, and it made them feel things that they never felt before, kind of thing. And I think it's hard to kind of like visualize that as the reader personally. And I found myself kind of skim reading those bits in the books, that I've read maybe like 3 or 4 this year, and I kind of like, okay, the power's awakening, kind of thing. And I always think, like, how's that important to the story and the character, and I think that affects me more negatively than what it should when I'm writing. I think I do need to like loosen it up a little bit more. So it's something that I'm aware of at the very least when these things happen, because I don't want it to be. It's like it's loose kind of thing. You kind of like, it's not, maybe there's an element of it not being tangible enough when I'm reading it, and I'm aware, my friend's books. It's I can't like grasp onto it, and I'm aware of that when I'm writing. But I think there's a healthy middle ground. I don't think you need to describe like what someone's going through, on a page. I think a paragraph is fine. Because I think you do need to some extent. You need to let the reader kind of like fill in the gaps a little bit. That's like my kind of view on it. But that people are different with that, I guess. But yeah, it's something that I'm going to be aware of in this book, is that kind of like light bulb moment, when they realise something, when they realise the power, or like, the meaning of why they're there. They might have learnt a lesson, and do I just dive in and be like, this is exactly what it is, or do I leave it more open for interpretation, kind of thing. So yeah, that's something that I've kind of discovered the past few days, weeks. So yeah, that's going to be like impacting me writing a bit more. So I think I do need to maybe loosen up with it a bit more, and then obviously if I need to edit it, cut it down and all that. So yeah, that's going to increase the pages as well, as being a bit more loose with that. So that's where I'm at the moment with the story. Think I'll be finishing this scene in the next few pages, so maybe by the end of this week, coming into next week. And then there's a little bit of a transition scene, I think. So the next bit I've got in my head is kind of like gathering for a showdown in the book, because I think the second part is going to be quite action heavy. I think I've set everything up now, so I think I can just dive in, and it's going to be quite actiony. I feel like the second half, but there's a bit that I need to like. There's one bit that I need to set up, and I don't know if I need to go back and foreshadow that. That's what I've learned as well. Another thing is, I've always thought I've had to foreshadow when I'm writing, but what I've realised is that I should put the foreshadow in when I'm editing. Do you know what I mean? Like a bit of a cheat code. So like, say if something happens, say if a character dies at the end, I haven't foreshadowed that in my first draft, so what I can go is when I'm editing, go back and foreshadow it, just put a line in here, here and there about, oh, I'm never going to die, or something, obviously better than that, but something like that. And yeah, I think And it kind of clicked. I was like, that's a great tool. I'm sure everyone knows that already. That's a thing that people do anyway. But it was just something that I learned as I'm writing. The next video I'm going to do, I think I'm going to talk about that, kind of like the lessons that I've learned, instead of it just being like an update video. I think I'm just going to talk about like the journey that I've been on writing, because I've got like a few things that I just want to talk about, for myself, and it, if anyone watches this, hopefully like they pick it up as like lessons and stuff that they can just pick up straight away. But I'll get into that next time I record. So I won't be doing like a normal update video this week. After this, I might do a little one, but then I'll be talking about like things that I've learned and all that. So yeah, a bit of a long one, but hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you through the week.